What's up, guys? Welcome to Wrestle podcast. And look, we're going to really dive in today. We're going to have a look at all that happened on WWE Raw tonight. And we're going to talk about how to make an entrance because, oh my gosh, let me tell you right now, Cody has got that lock and loaded. Look, at the end of the day, one of the greatest things that makes WWE at the top of the game is when they freaking make their entrances. They really put all in on the entire production from A to Z with entrances, with just a whole presentation of each and every superstar. It is absolutely incredible. And look, Cody's is absolutely just freaking phenomenal. I mean, I love the timing of the pyros and just the great grandeur of the pyros that he's getting. I mean, they're really pulling out all the stops, and they're really letting you know that Cody is a guy that you need to watch and pay attention to. He is someone that is definitely in line to be the next champion. And look, I got to tell you guys something. You know, this right here is groundbreaking. It's so monumental because Cody right now has an opportunity to achieve greatness at levels that he probably would not have achieved if he didn't leave, go away, build up his stocks, and then come back to the company like he did. You know, it's just like how Drew McIntyre, when Drew left and did his thing out in the world, came back again, he was able to get the push and the credibility that he wanted from WWE. This is something that we're seeing happen with Cody, but even on a much major scale. I mean, Cody's return to WWE, I have to say, I think no other freaking talent ever, I think, has had such a huge, massive freaking return push like this. And yeah, you know, there's a lot riding on this. You know, there's the whole that Cody was from AEW. He was the founder of AEW. He was a VP of AEW. He was a two-time TNA champion over there. He did a lot. He built up his stocks. He went out. He proved himself. And I think he's definitely earned everything he's getting, and he's freaking getting the pop. The audience are eating it up like freaking pizza on a freaking Wednesday night, dude. Like, I mean, they are eating it up. It is candy in the hands of a baby right now. I mean, it is so good to see, because that was my one concern, was I wasn't sure how was, you know, the audience going to feel about Cody. And a lot was riding on how WWE decided to package Cody. If they were going to allow him to come as he's been, which, hey, it's a great presentation. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Or are you going to attempt to change him back to some type of Stardust clone or whatever? The fact is, they went and chose the right option. And they've even taken it to another level, dude. Like, they didn't just do it like, okay, we're going to do it exactly like how AEW. No, they took it to another level, which the another level is just really WWE's normal operating level. They're good at what they do. They've been doing it for freaking many years. So, of course, they're good at what they do. And they just really just did what WWE does. They package things so well. They know how to make an entrance. They know how to make an entrance. If you ever wanted to know how to do it properly, all you have to do is watch anybody, really, not just Cody, but watch how WWE presents anybody. They have a winning formula for everything that they do. They are so good. It's so polished. It's so clean. And it's impactful. I mean, look, even if you didn't like Cody, the way that WWE has him coming out right now, you can't help but be like, man, I want to see what this guy can do. Jeez, man, I mean, he's a superstar. They've made him come back and look like he was the biggest thing since freaking sliced bread and apple pie. I mean, he looks the part, dude. He looks the part. In fact, I mean, as far as WWE goes on Monday Night Raw, dude, he's the biggest thing. I mean, I think that right now his pops and everything is bigger than Edge, bigger than Miz, bigger than Ray, bigger than freaking everybody. I think Cody is literally the most popular main guy. He is the guy right now, dude, on Raw. I don't think anybody can outshine him at the moment. Everyone is loving him. They're eating up. I mean, the crowd is just nonstop eating him up, dude. And of course, this is still as they make the rounds and start going to do different shows in different venues in different cities. People are seeing Cody for the first time. They're seeing him back again in the WWE ring. There's also that, just that right there, where just because he's back again in a WWE ring, that he's going to instantly get the love, because a lot of people, myself included, feels like this is just Cody coming home. This is Cody coming back to where he belongs. And I feel that this right here, without a shadow of a doubt, is the place where Cody is going to be able to make the best impact and also reach his goals, his dreams of wanting to get the belt for his dad and get the belt for himself. He's been in the game for a long time now. Cody's 36 years old. He has about 4 years of wrestling left, he said. He said he wants to finish around 40. If he was ever going to make this change, now is the time to do it. And he's doing it really well. WWE has pulled out all the stops and they're accommodating him above and beyond. I mean, tonight, he didn't have just one big pyro entrance. He had two awesome pyro entrances. Think about that for a second, because a lot of times you would have seen Bobby Lashley is a good example. Bobby Lashley or Roman Reigns, or like, you see a lot of people when they come out the first time to do a talk, segment or something, and they're not actually wrestling, they might not get any pyros at all during that first part, because they're save it for the big, when the actual, wrestle moment, that's when they'll get the pyros. Or if they do get the pyros when they first come out for whatever segment, they're just talking and they're just, building up hype for the fight at the main event later on. Then when they come back later, there's a lot of times they do not get a second round of pyro. WWE usually gives them one or the other. You get it at that first one when you come out, or the second one you come out, but not both. Cody, on the other hand, he's getting pyro anytime he comes, man. It's like, let's more pyro for Cody. You need some pyro. Let's give more pyro. And I love it, dude. It is great because it really is showing you that WWE is doing everything in their power to really push Cody, get him. He's already over. So that was the easy part. But to keep him over, they need to keep doing what they're doing. And these entrances to every city needs to keep being like this so everyone can experience this, because even just watching on TV, I mean, that entrance is incredible. If you ever needed to know how to make an entrance, watch Cody. And it's not just only the pyros, because you can have great pyro, and if you yourself as the talent don't know how to go out there and to put your energy in such a manner that's going to actually connect with everyone out there, that's going to bring them in, that's going to freaking make them freaking want to get behind you. If you don't have that star quality, that charisma, that way about yourself, it doesn't matter how much pyro they throw at you, you still ain't going to get over, you know what I mean? Whereas freaking Cody has it all, man. He's gone away. He's polished his skills, which are already great. Cody's always been just really operating at a high level. Cody has always been good. Just because, he didn't, reach that brass button the first time around doesn't mean that he didn't have the ability to. Just wasn't given his moment to shine yet to be able to do that. This is his moment to shine without a shadow of a doubt. And he's just gone away and gotten better and better and better and better and better, like a fine wine. He has absolutely just come back full freaking superstar without a shadow of a doubt. he is at the top of the food chain. Make no mistake. And he will be the person to take the belt off of Roman. I predict this. I believe this to be the facts. I believe this to be what will happen. And I'm all in for it. Hey, I'm not hating on it. I think it's the direction to take. I think it's a good thing. I think it's what should happen, because at the end of the day, who else, especially who else have we that we haven't seen, and who else? Because everyone else, we've seen them, at some point have multiple matches with Roman. We've seen it. We've been there. We've done that. Fresh blood, dude. Fresh blood. Cody, Roman. Yeah. Look, what we're talking years ago. I think they might have surely. Matter of fact, I kind of remember them having a match together years ago. I think so, didn't they? But look, right now, we ain't seen it. It's the bottom line. And that is going to be a great match because they're both workers. You got to be a worker in the ring if you want to freaking bring it. They bring it. Both of them bring it. It's going to be an awesome match. It's going to be great. And I think he should be the one to dethrone Cody, because Cody should be the one to dethrone freaking Roman. I don't see anyone else right now who I would be excited to see dethrone Roman. There's really not. There's an argument for people like Brock and stuff, but unless Brock is intending to go and be the face on both shows, come every week, not take breaks and stuff, which I don't think that's what Brock wants to do right now. But, I think even if Brock was to win it right now, I still would feel I want someone fresh, someone different. I want someone like Cody who has a burning freaking desire to win this for such valid and valor reasons, freaking for his father. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep, man. For his father, man. And he's a legend. You guys, Dusty is a legend who freaking the belt eluded him. He deserves it. He's one of the great icons. So for Cody to be able to come and represent and get that for his dad, that's a story. WWE is good at telling stories. The stories are what get you involved and engaged. And I know some of you are going to say WWE is sometimes not good at telling stories, but overall, you got to think about this. WWE for decades have been telling multiple stories, and there's been tons of awesome stories. And as a WWE fan, I got to tell you, I personally enjoy all the WWE stuff. I never, ever, ever will falter as a fan of WWE. I believe in WWE. I always have, always will. I believe in the product. And now that they're doing the one thing that I freaking really appreciate and love is listening to the fans, doing what we want. Because at the end of the day, that is kind of AEW's superpower right now. Tony Khan's superpower is that he's just giving the fans exactly what they want. They ask, he gives it. That's why he signed everyone under the sun that WWE dropped, because he's, is attempting to keep the fans happy, because he knows that's what they want. They want freaking Daniel Bryan, or they want freaking, blah, 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 the people, right? There's been a lot of signings. But WWE usually tends to kind of go against what they know the people want. Usually they know what the people want, but they're like, we're not going to do that though. We're going to give you something completely opposite that you didn't ask for, because, well, we know best. We know what you really want. You want what we tell you want. You don't know what you want. You just think you do. But we know what you really want. We know what you really need. You don't know that. So, this time around, they have righted this freaking wrong that they do to us fans, because that's wrong, WWE. Stop that. Stop freaking torturing us. Give us what we want. And they've done it with Cody. Everyone wanted to see Cody come back home. And not only has he come back, but he's come back in a larger-than-life way. He's come back in such an amazing fashion that you can't help but get this huge smile on your face every time you see Cody on the screen. And WWE made a mistake for a while. This is why WWE kind of in a sense is playing a bit of catch up, because for a while WWE changed their own formula for success. See, WWE used to have tons of the guy, the guy, or sometimes you got lucky and you have two guys, like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Sometimes you'd have a couple of the guys, the names, the faces that run the place literally. No offense to AJ Styles. He is awesome. He is a face that runs a place. But I'm talking about those big, iconic household names that every single person knows, not just only wrestling fans, but every single person. You go out to the street and go, hey, do you know who The Rock is? And they go, yes, I know who The Rock is. So WWE decided to change that formula for a while, where it's like, hey, look, we're going to make it about the brand, about WWE, not about the man, the one having the face, the one big superstar or two big superstar faces. We're going to have just the brand. It's about WWE is the superstar and everyone else is just part of that. That wasn't working for them. That's not working for them. It wasn't working for them because at the end of the day, we want to buy into that superstar, that larger than life person. That is what we want to go and see. That's what gets us excited right now. Roman Reigns is doing a good job of being that. Roman Reigns has become and elevated to one of the greats of all time now, thanks to that heel change. Good job, WWE, on that. And now we are getting excited for freaking that kind of, those faces, those big guys, those big names. We're starting to see some of them now come to light. Roman Reigns, Cody, right there. You've got two freaking just really elevated, big name stars that aren't having to rely on old, previous legends to be that face for the brand. We're getting new WWE stars that can now be that face for the brand, which is great to see. And WWE's just fallen behind a little bit on something that they were doing so well before, because they changed that for a moment. But from what I heard in recent times, they've gone back to the realization that that's what they are looking for. Triple H said in some interview that we're looking for the next big kind of name or face, to run the place, basically. Not in exact words, but that's basically saying we're looking for the next larger than life big superstar. That's what we're looking for. And so now WWE has gone back to that. Now you're starting to see that start happening organically by Cody coming back. The crowd is behind him. He's freaking become top tier in WWE. He is freaking, and this is a smart move by Cody. This really was a smart move, because if he was in AEW, the AEW has just brought in so many people. He started to get lost in the shuffle to everyone else. Plus, he did that stupid stipulation where he could not ever hold the big belt in AEW. So what's he going to do? Just continue being the TNT champion? No one cares about it. So I'm really excited about this, but that's how you make an entrance, man. Cody is how you make an entrance. What they're doing with Cody is how you make an entrance, is how you freaking get people to really pay attention. You can't help but pay attention. You're falling asleep. Those pyros go off and wake you up. You ain't going back to sleep. I'm telling you right now, that's how you make an entrance. If you want to understand how to make an entrance, Cody is how you make an entrance. And WWE always does it better than everyone else. It is a fact. Whether you like WWE or not, whether you like AEW, whether you like Impact, whether you freaking love whoever, it doesn't matter who you love. No one does it better than WWE. No one does it better. I mean, look, I'm not even nitpicking, but every time I watch an entrance in AEW and they attempt to make it seem like a big deal with their pyro over there, their pyro is crap. I'm not hating, it's just a fact. It sounds like toy freaking fireworks. Like, sounds like low budget freaking, like the little pyro you get at a little small indie something, that's just, and I'm not putting anyone down. It's just what it sounds like to me because of the scale and level that WWE does it. It sounds like freaking the 4th of July up in there. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like a big deal. The sound, the look, the imagery, everything is just it's chalk and cheese, dude. There's levels to this game. There's levels to this game. It's just like this, dude. There's levels. And I hate to say it, I'm not putting one down again. AEW is doing their thing, man. More power to them. They're over there, they're doing their thing. That's great to see. It's awesome for wrestlers around the world to have another outlet and opportunity for them to shine bright like a diamond and all of that. But the reality is, still to this day, you can look, you can watch, you can see it for yourself that at the end of the day, at the top of the food chain, who's doing it the best at the highest level, still better than everyone else, is WWE. They've got years and decades of experience behind them to allow them that. They've earned that. They freaking became this because they worked hard at it. They put in the hard yards. They put in the wrench time. That's why they are up here. They're the real deal. They're legit. And you can tell the production value is light years ahead of everyone else in the game. That's the bottom line. You don't have to agree or disagree. The proof is in the pudding. Watch WWE. It doesn't matter who comes out. They know how to make an entrance. It doesn't matter who comes out. They know how to make vignettes that freaking seem like anybody is worth $1 million. They can make a person off the street seem like they're the best thing since freaking ET. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they just got it dialed in like that. And you can't hate on that. That's just a reality. That's a fact. There's no hate intended. I got nothing but love for everybody, but the facts are the facts. And the facts are that WWE know how to make an entrance. If they want to make you look like a freaking mega freaking $1 trillion superstar, they know how to do it. They know how to make an entrance. How to make an entrance. WWE, and they do it so well. All right, let's talk about WWE Raw tonight. It was really good. It was a good Raw. I enjoyed it personally, but that being said, I'm probably biased. I enjoy these things all the time. Raw came on, and it started with Rhodes and Rollins out there. Freaking was a great thing to see. Cody Rhodes. Well, Rollins came out after the match, and he was like asking for a rematch and everything. But during the actual fight, it was Cody Rhodes and The Miz, and obviously this was. Wait, that's not how the show started. What am I talking about? Hold on. Okay, the show starts. Cody came out. The show started, and then when the show started, freaking obviously it was tons of awesome pyro stuff, right? He came out in his suit. Again, how to make an entrance. He came out, he did his thing, he looked $1 million, and it was fantastic, and it was everything that you hoped for, and a bag of potato chips. And then, you know, The Miz, being The Miz, does what Miz does. At the end of the day, here's the thing. This was an awesome freaking opportunity for everyone in Detroit to see Cody for the first time. They did not disappoint, obviously. As I said, how to make an entrance. Cody, boom. It just doesn't get any bigger or better than this at the moment. It's just a joy to see. Anyways, we knew that going into this, The Miz and Cody, that it was going to be a good match because they're both workers. They're awesome. They're good at what they do. They're freaking fantastic. Hey, they know their way around the ring. Miz, no matter how goofy he is or how freaking a freaking huge freaking mega heel he is good in the ring. He's good at what he does. He's really good. So it was a great match. I enjoyed it. I really absolutely enjoyed it. Now, obviously, needless to say, Cody gets the W, and then Seth comes into the ring, and Seth is there doing what Seth does. And then Seth explains, he goes, hey, the only reason you had it up on me at WrestleMania was because basically I didn't even know who I was wrestling. You knew who you were wrestling, but I didn't know. So you already had an advantage. You had time to prepare because you knew who you were fighting, me. But now I've seen what you are bringing to the party. Now it's fair. Rematch me at freaking Backlash. And of course, freaking Cody is like, bring it. Let's do it. We'll run it back. Boom. So that happened. That match was actually an hour into the show, by the way. That wasn't the first entrance. That was an hour in the show, but I'm kind of jumping around now because it just kind of flowed and happened that way. But yeah, but that was an awesome match that happened on tonight. So basically, yeah, let's not even attempt to put in order. Let's just talk about some of the high points of the show, what happened, things that kind of stand out. Also, we had a really fun segment with Ezekiel, aka let's pretend like we don't know it's Elias, but Ezekiel, for you guys who don't know, that's Elias's younger brother. And he was backstage with Ciampa, which was great to see. Ciampa officially, definitely 100% now, just on Raw. And Ciampa and him are talking, and Ezekiel introduces himself to Ciampa, and Ciampa says, oh, nice to meet you, Ezekiel. And then freaking Kevin comes and goes, that's not Ezekiel. He's lying to you. That's Elias. He's a liar. And then Ciampa goes, no, that's Ezekiel. You're confused, Kevin. And he plays along with it. It's great to see that now it's like this whole angle where Owens is the only one who's like, that's you know? And everyone else is like, no, dude, that's Ezekiel. So it's really good. It's actually a fun storyline. I like it. So that was a fun thing. We had the double marriage or double bachelor and bachelorette parties for freaking Reggie, Tamina, freaking. Let me look at my freaking notes here. Freaking, I don't even have no name. Freaking, what's her name? Why do I tend to forget her name sometimes. I don't even know why I forget her name sometimes. Because it's on the tip of my tongue. It's a shame that Dana, freaking Dana, dude. I forget her name sometimes. Maybe it's because she just isn't always on the screen that much. I know who she is, but I just forget her name sometimes. So Dana, Tamina, freaking Reggie, and freaking Shizawa. And they freaking having the double bachelorette, double freaking bachelor party. It's freaking funny, hell, great segment. And R-Truth is there, of course, making it the absolute funniest thing ever. R-Truth has been ordained, so he's going to be one doing the ceremony. He said, look, until you guys get married, no more fighting. No more fighting until you guys get freaking the knots tied. No more fighting for this belt. And everyone agreed to that. And but it was a funny segment. It was actually super funny. And R-Truth has something up his sleeve. It's a given. I think R-Truth is definitely going to walk away from the marriage ceremony that they have with the belt somehow. But yeah, that was fun. We had Bianca Belair against Zelina and Queen Zelina, and we knew Bianca was just gonna kind of take that out for the W. That wasn't really a big deal match. That wasn't really here or there. Bianca's a beast, so she's in beast mode. She's a women's champion now. She deserves it. She earned it. So that's freaking awesome. We also had Veer and Dominique. Oh, that was interesting, kind of. Just because, personally, I feel like freaking what they've done with Dominique is great. Him now kind of branching out from his dad, out there doing his own thing, having these matches is fantastic, and that's building up another star. Dominique is also someone to look out for in the future, obviously. Just having a Mysterio name is already going to do wonders for him, but I think one of the things that I really I talked about this a bit, is Veer. I just think Veer had an opportunity to be this massive face. I think his opportunity to be a face has kind of passed now, because now he's been the massive heel that he is. It's going to be hard for him to make that change. But look, WWE, if they wanted to, because he had waited for so long, 6 months to a year, for Veer to finally appear, he could have been way over with the audience just because of that, because of the long wait and everything. They would have been all in on it. I would have preferred to see him as a face. Then you could have him and Jinder have their battles and things like that. But I think he should have been a face. I think Veer should have been a face, but we'll see where this all leads to. But anyways, Veer just destroyed Dominique, and then after the bell rang, he even started freaking like choking him up and freaking, just until the point where they had to get the refs and everyone came in, the officials came in, and to get Veer off of him. And Dominique ends up getting carried away by a stretcher and to an ambulance. It was mental, it was nuts, it was vicious. Veer, so they're making him look like a monster heel, which is good. Hey, if you're gonna make him a heel, at least make him a freaking badass monster heel who's super destructive, and that's what they're doing. So I enjoyed just watching Veer destroy him, I guess, in a sense. It was all right. AJ Styles, Damian Priest match was weird. I don't even it was weird, dude. I don't even know who won. It was so weird because one moment they're wrestling and all that's happening, and then Damian throws freaking AJ out the ring or something, and suddenly Damian's in the middle of the ring, and this light comes down on him. It does the whole edge, like evil edge look thing happening or something. And then next thing you know, he's on his knees, his eyes kind of go weird, or something happens, dude. I don't know if this is some type of supernatural thing or just furthering the storyline with evil and good. But then it kind of ended like that. The match is kind of ended somehow. I'm like, did I blink and did I miss them count AJ out, or did something happen? Did I I really actually don't know. Did I miss it? Maybe I missed it. Maybe he got the count out or something. I don't know. I must have blinked and missed it, literally, because it was just boom. I was like, what? Okay. And then AJ's at the top of the ramp after going, this match wasn't over, I wasn't finished, blah, 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 or something. So I don't know what happened there. It was kind of cool to see Damian in this light and everything. It was cool. It furthers the story with him and Edge and all that stuff. Like, I think it was dope, but I just didn't, it just kind of ended. But I guess that's the way to further the story. Keep it going until Backlash or something. I think that's probably their intention. This WWE Raw, you started seeing the shapings of what matches and things are going to be happening at Backlash. And so they started to really address that in this episode of Raw. What else stands out to me? I mean, I've got my notes here. I can look down and stuff, but I mean, what stands out to me? That's the kind of the thing is, what was else to me was a big deal. Obviously, the Usos and RK Bro segment was huge because we knew that was going to happen from SmackDown. If you watch SmackDown, you already know that Roman was like, bring me all the gold, bring me all the titles. Freaking, so they're going to have freaking the tag team unification match with RK Bro. RK Bro is like, yo, you can't just walk up to our show like this and think just because you here and you champions that you just going to go ahead and automatically get a title match against us. And that was further cemented by the fact that the Street Profits came out and were like, yo, we just beat your boys Alpha Academy. Yo, I think we need to be up in this for the next freaking champions. You know what I'm saying? So they wanted their tag team, champion opportunity, title opportunity, freaking, so that obviously the Usos wanted. So what happened was it was a contenders match. Freaking Usos, Street Profits going hand in hand, going at it. Freaking, obviously, the Street Profits were looking dope. Freaking mega super frog splash from the freaking heavens above. Freaking Montez just flies like he's a superhero for real, dude. Like, seriously, he can fly his butt off. And so basically that happened. You have that freaking moment where you think, and there was actually a lot of those moments where you think that they're going to get the W, that they're going to freaking walk away with the win. The Street Profits had a bunch of those moments where you thought, oh crap, swerve, they're going to win. But I predicted it. It was just kind of common sense. Like, you knew in order to make the storyline work that the Usos were going to get the win going into it, and they did. They got the W. It was freaking awesome. It was freaking epic, and it was a great match. They ended it with a double freaking super kicks, and got the 1, 2, 3 off of the double super kicks, and yeah. So that's where we're at. With that, next week, not next week, sorry, next pay per view, you got the Usos and you've got RK Bro. Title unification match. It's going down. It's happening. That's going to be a good match. I already, wonder if they're going to go ahead and pull the freaking plug on this. I wonder what's going to happen. Like, are they going to freaking give the Usos both belts or not? It's going to be interesting to see what happens. So let me know what you guys think is going to happen. Give me your opinion. Leave it in the comments below. Tell me, do you guys think that the Usos are going to win this? Or if you think that the freaking RK Bro is going to be the go to take the win. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be cool. But who's going to win? I don't know. I'm gonna need to look at my notes. Oh yeah, Naomi and Morgan Liv had a match. That kind of, it was a match. It wasn't nothing particular, nothing special. It was kind of quick, one and done, gone kind of situation, which is fine. I knew that Liv had to lose today because she just won on SmackDown. She needed to kind of get an L this time, take the loss. But Liv is someone to look out for. She's finally starting to get those bigger matches and getting the the TV time and everything that she freaking has been working hard to get. So I expect at some point in time over the next probably 6 to 12 months, they're going to go ahead and put the belt around her. I think that's a real possibility. I think that's something that's probably going to happen. MVP, oh yeah, freaking MVP and Bobby Lashley segment with Almost. And basically, Bobby was like, why, dude? Why? Why did you freaking backstab me? And it was just really MVP going, well, you didn't need me. You don't need me. Freaking WrestleMania happened. You didn't freaking, bring me and share WrestleMania limelight with me. You freaking don't need me, obviously. But Almost, he's learning to be a, real businessman now that he's with me and stuff. And so if the money's right and the time is right or something like that, MVP goes, then we'll give you your fight or whatever, or something like that. They will fight. They'll fight at. Did they lock it in? I'm not even sure if they've made it official yet. I can't remember now, but most likely it will happen at Backlash, which I don't know if I really care about that personally. I mean, it's probably a little bit more interesting now that MVP is involved. But before, when it was just Almost and Lashley, I wasn't really that invested into it. But now that MVP is involved and there's a backstab story, I guess I'm a bit more invested in it now. I actually think I like Almost a bit more now that MVP is the mouthpiece and helping to plug him. So yeah, I'll go for it. Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? Austin Theory is now just Theory. The famous WWE name change is happened, where you can't have two names. You now have just one name person. That's a good decision in this regards. I think Theory with just the name Theory is much better than Austin Theory. Even though Austin Theory is a great name, it works. It's a great name. It works. But Theory is following in lines with Cena. Theory, the one name, double freaking syllable type of name. There you go. Theory is going to be at some stage, and he's also getting a United States Championship match next week against Balor. So could be interesting. I think they're going to put the belt on Theory. I think that WWE, Vince in particular, is very high on Theory and very much wanting to hurry and push him into the upper echelons and create a new star. That's what they're really doing when they're doing this. They're just basically creating another star, which is really important. A big thing to do. Plus, the Intercontinental and U.S. Championship belts. aren't really getting the love they deserve. They're not really a big deal right now, which is sad because at once upon a time, there's been times where they are a big deal, like when Cena was a U.S. champion and he had this freaking blinged out freaking championship belt that had spinner on it and things. I mean, there's been times where these things felt important. They felt like a big deal. Or Chris Jericho with the Intercontinental belt. You know, there's been times where they felt like they really mattered. But when your two main belts aren't even on WrestleMania weekend, that kind of tells you everything you need to know with what WWE really thinks about these two belts at the moment. In theory, holding the belt isn't going to elevate it either. It's not going to elevate again until you get someone really prominent like freaking Brock or Roman or someone who's now a big thing on WWE to hold those belts and hold them for a while and get quality people defending or going, you know, they're fighting people, not just squashing mid-carders, but you start getting some other top people fighting for said belts. Then they start kind of becoming more than just a nothing feeling belt. You know what I mean? Oh, another big thing that happened. Sonya decided that she was going to use her authority and give herself a championship match against Bianca. That happened. She just literally said, I know you're excited to find out who your match is going to be against, so let me go ahead and bring you and introduce you to who that person's going to be. Totally swerved the hell out of her. Turns out it's Sonya. Sonya just freaking sneak attack, boom, and next thing you know, she signed the contract. Tricked freaking Bianca to signing an open contract. Don't ever sign an open contract. It's dumb. But Bianca being the superstar, she's like, it doesn't matter who it is anyways. I'll freaking destroy them. I'll break them. I'll beat them because I'm the bestest, greatest, fastest, toughest, roughest, WWEist, championess, yada, yada. So, yeah, you know, she got, she got freaking Sonya freaking at Backlash. Unless, and freaking Pierce was upset, dude. Adam Pierce was freaking like pissed off about this. Like, who do you think you are? And then Sonya's like, well, I'm the first freaking authority figure who's going to freaking who signed an open challenge and is freaking now going to become a champion or something. So it's gonna be interesting to see if they let her win. Obviously, I doubt they will. I think they're going to let Bianca have a little bit of a long reign. I think that Bianca's going to probably hold that belt for a minute. And I definitely don't think they're going to let Sonya be the person to take the belt from Bianca. Because, well, we all would be really unhappy about that. And now that I've said that out loud, it's exactly something WWE would do to piss us off. But we'll see what happens. Nonetheless, it's storyline, and it's a great story. I think it's going to be fun to see what happens with that. I don't think I missed anything else. RK Bro... RK Bro and Alpha Academy had their match. RK Bro obviously won that. And then I already talked about the whole championship contenders thing, which the Usos obviously won. I think that's just about it. I think I didn't miss anything else. I think that's the whole show, pretty much. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I literally just said the whole show. It was a good show. Like I said, you know, there's a lot of cool new storylines and new things that are kind of starting to happen around the WWE universe. I think this is good overall, building up some new stars, giving some new people opportunities to shine and to build for the future of WWE, and to start getting those big, larger than life names back. The thing that we love to see, that pop, you know, it's look like WrestleMania, Stone Cold comes out, we still love him. It's still a huge pop, you know, one of the biggest pops of the night, obviously, you get when Stone Cold comes in. It's going to be great. Now that Evil Edge, and that's the other thing, now that Edge is heel now, see, when Edge is heel, he's a heel now, so he's not going to get the big pop. He's not going to get that big feel that he gets as the Rated R Superstar. When the Rated R Superstar music hits and he comes out and he's all energetic, it feels like a big deal. He's a big thing. He's a big star. He does feel still like a big deal, a big thing in the evil world of his character, but it's a different feeling, right? You know, heels and faces. So I think it's exciting time for WWE. I'm really excited to see what comes up next. I'm excited to see what happens. Hope you guys are excited too. And basically, that's my review of Raw tonight, and that's my podcast for the day. And let me know what you guys think of everything I just said. So, all right. I love you guys. Catch you on the next one. As always, remove 20 fools. And keep you wrestling, yo! I had to come up with a new catchphrase for the end there. Because I don't know. And remember, it's wrestling, yo. I don't know. Remember to watch Wrestle, yo. We'll work on it. All right. Love you guys. Catch you on the next one. Peace out.